If I told you that America's military, the most powerful force on Earth, was quietly undergoing a transformation that many are calling the biggest political shift in decades, would you believe me? This isn't about new weapons, futuristic drones, or high-tech jets. It's about ideology, identity, and a wave of influence that is reshaping the character of the armed forces from the inside out. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something that has stunned analysts, shaken Washington, and raised critical questions across the globe. We're exploring the shocking MAGA transformation inside the U.S. military and what it means for the future of America's defense and democracy. When we look at the military from the outside, the exterior, the image it projects to the world, the changes are subtle, yet undeniable. The armed forces have always been wrapped in tradition, discipline, and the image of a politically neutral institution sworn to serve the Constitution. But over the last few years, cracks in that neutral exterior have started to show. More symbols, rhetoric, and policies aligned with the Make America Great Again movement are surfacing, making the military as exterior presentation appear less like a shield for all Americans and more like a mirror reflecting one faction's vision. Uniforms haven't changed, the bases still stand tall, and the tanks still roll, but there is a noticeable difference in the tone of speeches and the slogans echoing at rallies and in how some service members choose to display their allegiances. From recruitment advertisements to high-profile appearances, exterior feels as if it's being repainted with political colors, raising eyebrows both inside and outside the Pentagon. Step inside and look at the interior, and the transformation becomes even more visible. The military has always prided itself on its culture, the brotherhood and sisterhood that binds soldiers together, regardless of background or belief. But now, ideological lines are creeping into those once unified halls. Conversations at the barracks, discussions in officer clubs, and even policy debates at the top have started to echo MAGA talking points. Loyalty to the chain of command is still there, but loyalty to a broader political identity is creeping in alongside it. For many, this feels like a break from tradition, where the military was expected to remain a space apart from partisan conflict. The interior atmosphere is no longer just about training, camaraderie, and readiness. It's becoming a place where political identity plays a role in who feels fully accepted and who feels like an outsider. That's the kind of change you can't immediately see from the outside, but those inside know it's real. Now, let's talk performance, because this is where the transformation raises real questions. The U.S. military's strength has always been measured in its unmatched ability to project power, coordinate complex missions, and remain the gold standard of military readiness. But performance is not just about weapons or technology, it's about unity, trust, and the chain of command. With the MAGA influence spreading, some analysts argue that performance could be compromised. When soldiers question whether their leaders are guided by politics or by principle, hesitation builds. When generals are accused of being too loyal to one political figure rather than the Constitution, doubt grows. On the battlefield, hesitation and doubt can be fatal. That said, some argue the opposite, that this MAGA transformation fuels motivation, giving soldiers a renewed sense of purpose rooted in nationalism and identity. It creates a culture of defiance and determination, pushing performance through pride. But the real question remains, does pride rooted in partisanship enhance the force, or does it fracture it? Performance depends on cohesion, and cohesion is harder to sustain when politics are in play. Safety is another factor we cannot ignore. Safety in a military sense isn't just about armor on a vehicle or defenses on a base. It's about safeguarding the institution itself from internal threats, extremism, and the risk of division. The military has long been proud of its ability to protect itself from being hijacked by politics. But in recent years, safety has come under threat. Reports of extremist sympathies among some service members, the presence of political symbols in environments that once banned them, and the rise of loyalty to individual leaders over constitutional duty all suggest that the safeguards may not be as secure as once believed. The MAGA transformation tests those safety features. Can the military remain the neutral guardian of the nation, or will it tilt toward a faction? The answer to that question will determine whether America's most trusted institution remains safe from collapse within. What makes this transformation unique are its selling points, the things that supporters highlight as victories. For some, The infusion of MAGAology into the military is not a threat, but a restoration. They argue it's about returning to patriotism, honoring traditional values, and ensuring the armed forces are led by leaders who put America first, no matter what. The unique selling points of this transformation, according to supporters, are clarity, loyalty, and renewed strength. They believe the military is being reshaped into a force that better represents the real America rather than being watered down by globalist or politically correct agendas. It's marketed as a rejuvenation, a way to bring back pride and unapologetic nationalism into the core of military identity. To its critics, however, these same selling points are red flags. What one side calls loyalty, the other calls blind allegiance. What one side calls patriotism, the other warns, is creeping authoritarianism. These selling points, depending on your perspective, either make the military stronger or undermine the very principles it was built to defend. When we get to price, it's not about dollars and defense budgets, it's about what this transformation could cost America. The military is one of the few institutions that still commands broad respect across political divides, but a visible MAGA transformation risks that trust. If the public begins to view the armed forces as partisan, the price is legitimacy. If allies around the world see America's military as politically captured, the price is credibility. And if soldiers themselves begin to lose faith in the idea that they serve a constitution rather than a movement, the price could be unity. These are not abstract costs. They are real risks with long-term consequences. The price of this transformation may not be paid today, but history shows that when militaries become politicized, nations often pay dearly in instability, division, and conflict. In conclusion, the shocking MAGA transformation inside the U.S. military is not about camouflage uniforms or new weapons systems. It's about a deeper shift, one that's reshaping the image, the culture, the performance, and even the safety of the most powerful fighting force in the world. From the exterior image it projects to the interior culture it fosters. From how it performs on the battlefield to how it protects itself from internal risks. The transformation is real, and it carries both opportunities and dangers. Its unique selling points highlight a vision of renewed patriotism and strength. But the price may be trust, unity, and the nonpartisan foundation that has always defined the armed forces. The real question for America is simple, yet profound. Will this MAGA transformation make the military stronger, or will it compromise the very principles it's meant to protect? Time will answer that, but one thing is clear. The U.S. military is no longer just a battlefield force. It's becoming a front line in America's political struggle, and the world is watching closely. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video informative, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that matter. We'll see you in the next one.